Grateful for the things that you have done. And I'm grateful for the victory we've won. I could go on and on and on about your words. Because I'm grateful, grateful, so grateful, grateful to praise you, Lord. Ooh, flowing from my heart are the issues of my heart is gratefulness. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Happy New Year, bitch. I was so thankful to to be a new year. I cannot believe, God, we are in a new year. And when I was in the hospital, I when the lady let me have a charger, because I forgot, I thought my mind was so out of it. I thought I had my charger and I didn't. And when she gave it to me, I went and played one of my favorite songs, Angels Watching Over Me. Oh my God. And I could not barely, whew, I couldn't barely get through that song because I was crying. And I said, I know I could have died. I could have died before I got here several times because I've been dealing with this for years and the unknown infection and didn't know it was mold and stuff in here and was getting so sick so many times I thought I was not going to make it and I did. And just the words to that song, if y'all listen to that song, that's so pretty and the way the lady sings it so pretty. I think it's Richard Small with Angels Watching Over Me, and I'm trying to sing the song. And it's sitting on my hospital bed, and I was standing up trying to sing it. I was thanking God for being alive, and it was hard to sing it because I was crying um, as I was singing it. I could not stop crying, and I was just so thankful. You don't always see them. I think when people can't feel them, they can't hear them, they can't see them or sense them, but they might not. They might maybe get an inkling here or there, but the ones that really know, like I just knew. I didn't know how, but I just knew I was gonna be okay. I know there are angels watching over me. The ones they call light and the ones they call dark beings. I know that they were with me here. I know they were with me, and I knew people were trying to kill me with black magic and were bragging about it. I knew when I was in the hospital they were with me. I knew even with the transportation, I just knew I could feel it that some kind of way I was going to be okay and the right surgeon was going to put their hands on me and not mess me up this time like I've been messed up in the past. And when I just heard that song, it just, I was just like a baby. But I was standing up and I was singing and I was crying. I was thanking God that, hey, Big Mar. And I've been singing that song today. So grateful because as I'm learning like lessons on how to manifest wealth and prosperity and love, anything you want in your life, you first have to be grateful for where you are. You have to be grateful for what you have. Even if you feel like you don't have nothing, you got your life. You're still alive. So that means you live to fight another day. And no matter what you think you don't have, it's always somebody that's more fucked up than you. It's always somebody have less than you are. Some people didn't physically wake up. They didn't physically make it. And if it weren't for people like me, where their spirits and their souls are still intact and they're still alive in the other realm and they're moving around and they're also down here. If it wasn't for us, nobody would know they still exist and they still speak and have messages and knowledge and mysteries to reveal. So it could always be worse. And when you start focusing on what you want, and matching the vibration of what you want, while at the same time, not just visualizing that you actually are there, you have that, but being grateful for where you are. That opens the door for God to give more to you. But when you are angry and you're bitter and you're blaming everybody else for everything that happened and didn't happen, and what you got and what you didn't get, and what you deserve and what somebody else got, that actually lowers the vibration to you to continue to get what you don't want and repel what you do want and you feel like you deserve. But do you really deserve it? What determines if you deserve it or not is the vibration. Are you vibrating at the same vibratory rate and in the field of what you said you want? Because if you are, why it keeps running from you, and what you say you don't want keeps running to you. So I learned to always be grateful. Even like I told you yesterday, even in the fucked up shit and in the lesson, I was still thankful for the teaching, for the lesson. Even though it was bad, it was still a lesson. It was something I obviously needed, because it kept coming to me and I kept on embracing and receiving what I said I no longer want. You won't be ready. Whatever you're wanting is wanting you. You'll say, hi, Lucifer, Morning Star. You'll say you want it, but if it continues to run, a part of you is not ready for it, because when your vibration is there and it comes from gratitude. I used to not like that and want to hear, oh, gratitude, oh, fuck gratitude. Who's got to be fucking grateful for what? I don't like my life. I don't like what I'm getting. But what I realize is that's how you shift the energy. By just being happy and being thankful, and just know that what you want is coming, and only visualize that. Like I said, that was the thing that was, I went right into that mode of being in a hospital with a hole in my side with a bag coming out of it. And thank God it wasn't worse, because I could have had a colostomy bag or something like that if it had, was worse, or was in a hole in my intestine, a hole in my stomach. Thank God it was not. It could have been worse. Some people don't have legs. They might lose them because of the type of infection I had, or could have gotten it in there. A lot of people get it in there. I saw some people who couldn't get out of bed, who couldn't even come out of their room because they were like at a level of contagion. And people, the nurses that go in there to see them, the doctors had to put on biohazard gear. So, and when I was talking to one of the nurses and they said that somebody was that sick, some people were that sick, I said, you know what? Let me take back what I just said about, my skin infection, and it was all blotched up, and every time they would shoot me to take blood, I bruised so easily. And whenever my skin gets infected, it starts turning black and blotchy, and that's not about bleaching. Like these people try to say, they don't even know me. They don't know my personal life. They ain't been in my house. They don't know what I use. They don't know what I do. And that's not what my problem is. My skin is very easy to bruise, very easy to scar. If I bump something lightly, it will bruise, it will turn. But when I get, and that's just not me. If anybody's listening that has either in the medical field has seen someone with skin infections, or if they've been through it like I am, and they're easy to bruise, they'll know what I'm talking about. So I was looking at that, and she was looking at it, and she was like, I'm so sorry I hurt you. I didn't realize. I'm like, yes, my infection was so bad that they could barely touch my finger, my hand, anything, because it ached. My whole body, all the skin all over my body ached. It was so bad. And when they started giving me the antibiotics, it started to calm down. And when I left the hospital, my skin was normal. Like now I can pinch it. I'm pulling it while I'm talking to you. It's not hurting. It's not tender. But I was blotched up from all the time because they had to stick me twice a day to take blood and to test it to make sure where my levels are, my potassium, all this stuff. And my whole arm was purple and black and blue. Even if they just went in the vein and they did a good job of going in the vein, my skin was still turning. And when she was telling me about this other person on the floor and they couldn't come out of the room and they had to totally mask up from head to toe, I said, you know what? I take back what I just said because I thought I was fucked up, but you just told me it's somebody more fucked up than me, and they may not leave here because they may not be a cure. I take that back. It's always somebody worse. Not God, please forgive me. I thank you, and I'm grateful for still being alive and being here. I can still stand. I can talk. I can feed myself. I can wash up. I can use the bathroom by myself. I can walk around, and I just turn my phone on, and I started just listening. I think it's Hezekiah Walker. I think he's one saying grateful. And then that my favorite song, one of my favorite songs, John P. Key, "It's Me," standing in the need of prayer. I don't know if y'all, some of y'all like the gospel, but no matter, even though I'm not Christian anymore, I still love that country, that old down home music. I love John P. Key, "It's Me," standing in need of prayer. Um, I love, oh yeah, and that song "Be Grateful." I grew up in the projects. My grandmother playing that group singing "Be Grateful." All those songs about gratitude and being grateful, and God did not promise me sunshine. That's not the way it's going to be, but a little rain, and I'm grateful for the good times and the bad times. It was in that moment I really really understood it, and I really embraced it. What a lot of people don't realize is power can come from pain. Victory and success can come from pain, because if you choose to dig in it and really lay in it and dissect it, it's not just pain. It's a lot of different emotions, and it's a lot of reasons, and it's a lot of lessons in pain. If you choose to see it and you choose to embrace it and even take your responsibility for your role in it, even with things you cannot control. Many times that's how people become beasts, become presidents, become multimillionaires. A lot of times millionaires have failed and got money and lost it maybe 10 times before they became a multimillionaire again and really understand the principles and go to the top. Many of those people, you don't know their story. Most of the people that go to the top, not the ones that have just been born with it and given everything, but the ones that have achieved it are usually the ones that were in places of a lot of pain and a lot of lessons and a lot of loss and a lot of heartbreak, a lot of backstab, a lot of betrayal, and then wallowed in that and found the blessing and the gratitude in that and rose from that saying thank you, and I'm grateful, and I'm still blessed, and I'm still breathing. And I have an opportunity to rejoice, to turn this around. But do I have the courage? You see what I'm saying? So I know a lot of you that doesn't mean anything too, but it means everything to me. I'm fine, Dimitri. So when you're saying illness, I mean, I'm not looking at that and embracing like some illness, because my body is recovering. I'm fine. I'm healthy. I'm strong. I'm here by myself. I don't have a nurse. I don't have an assistant. I don't have an aide. I'm still by myself, able to take care of myself before the surgery. So and the surgery was a success. So I don't feel like you do. I don't feel sorry for myself. I don't pity myself. There's no reason to, because my body successfully went through the surgery, and they got out what they needed to get out more than they thought they would. Got the infection out. Uh, um, I'm recovering, and I'm grateful. I'm grateful to be here. So I don't know. No, that's fine if you wish me, but like, don't pity me, please. Like, I don't want anybody to, don't feel sorry for me, or treat me like I'm some type of cripple or yeah, I'm not on a cane. I walk by myself still. I'm not on a stick. I'm not on a walker. I'm not in a wheelchair. No. But of course it's gonna take some time for that place to heal. Oh no, Big Mar. They can't stop the dripping. I like to move around. I'm probably doing much more than I should, but I could just feel the healing energy moving through my body. And when I sing, Because I was like, I don't feel really like singing. I had so many problems like with the infection and affecting my head, my mouth, my throat. But with this, I realized I started feeling better when I started to sing. And I was in the hospital singing and stretching my body and meditating, pulling the energy up through the chakras and all around the auric field. It made me feel uh, alive, and that healing energy was moving all through me, because like I was saying, I knew what the doctor, what he said was when he was digging in me, and he was like, no, um, when I removed the pus, all this blood ran into the hole. He said, so I knew. He said, whenever I see blood, he said, when there's a lot of pus and I move all the pus and a whole bunch of blood runs into the hole to fill up the space, I know the person is going to heal very fast and very well, because new blood has a lot of oxygen in it. He said, but when I get worried is when somebody has an abscess, a really bad infected place, and they suck the pus out and no blood comes. And he said, that's not what happened to you. He said, I'm taking it out now. He said, and your hole just filled with blood. He said, that's always a good sign, because that's new oxygen rich, nutrient rich blood that's immediately starting to repair that place. So I'm fine. I haven't come on here asking you for pity. If that's the case, because a lot of times I'm very tired and I've been resting, I wouldn't even do readings. I wouldn't even talk to you. I just kind of felt like not saying anything. And then I said, no, let me, because I knew you all wanted to hear from me and know that I was okay. And I didn't like some of the messages. Like, some people are kind of late. They're looking at the video from 2 weeks ago when I was in the hospital saying I just had the surgery, because I didn't want to let y'all know beforehand. And, they're like, oh, get better and I hope you get out. And I'm like, I'm home. What are you talking about? I'm already home. Like, please don't feel, y'all don't do that. I'm not saying, I understand how you feel bad for someone that you love or that you care about that gets sick or they get surgery, something happens to them. You worry about them, but also pray for them. And or if you do magic, put them on your altar. Ask your guides to help heal them wherever they are. But, like, don't just pity them, because sometimes that can make the person worse. Like when you talk to them like you just pity them and you feel sorry for them. I don't want that. Of course, I like your love. I like you being here. I like your energy. I love it when you donate. You continue to support me so I can get what I need to get well. I appreciate all of that, but I don't want pity. You know, speak to me like some of the people speak to me. Like, I know you're recovering and I know you're getting stronger, and I'm praying for your healing and I see your healing, and I know, talk to me like that, please. Because the other way, I won't listen to it and I won't look at it and I won't click like on it. Why? Because it brings me down. So I don't want to, like, when I see comments like that, I don't really read them, because I don't want to start feeling sorry for myself. I like it for people to speak life into me, to speak peace and joy to me, success to me, and actually see, I'm praying a speedy recovery. I see you recovering. I see you heal. Like, talk to me in the present tense as if the healing is right there now. It's already taking place. Not the other way, because you don't realize when you speak to people. Oh, I had a abscess removed. Well, not removed. When they go in there, they drain out the infection. So they just had to drain me. Oh, not a big deal. Yeah, I took it and got right up and started walking around and dancing, talking and everything. Yeah, but it's fine. Thank God. It didn't spread. It wasn't in any other organs. It was not in any bone. It's my skin. I've had a lot of skin infection problems with the skin because of infection and mold and stuff. I don't know if anybody has heard me talk about this and never experienced black mold, the mold in the house. It will destroy your body, kill your body. I've been in here with it for years and didn't know for sure that's what it was until I got the test last week. I should have, you know what? If you all can, and if you have that situation, please don't stay as long as I stayed here. I didn't have any proof, but I kind of knew it because it was constantly leaks from other people's houses, floods a couple of times, stuff out of my control, and then it would dry up, and then they would treat it for mold, and then something would happen with someone else's unit again, and it comes through the wall, like comes through the floor. It's been even like what yeah, after I started doing the Nipsey readings, it was one day I know the video, but I didn't know that's what it was, mold in the house. It was when I was doing a Nipsey reading, and my whole face was swollen. My body had swollen up. I did not know it was the mold until I got the test to confirm it. Having a company come in here and send scientists in here and to swab stuff, and I actually knew because Nipsey was telling me where it was. And when I opened the kitchen closet, you could see a little round, it looked like a spore, green with spikes sticking out of it. And I told him to test it. I was feeling so sick one day. He was telling me right there. He told me to cut a hole in the wall. And you know me, when I hear, I think I'm hearing him or a spirit. I actually got a steak knife and went and cut a triangle out of the wall. And when I cut it, I saw it. I said, and so I told the tech, come here, come here. I opened the utility closet and I said, "What does that look like?" He said, "It looks like mold," and it was furry and had spikes. They took a sample, and they came back. It was black mold. So I see why I've had these problems, these unexplained problems. If you all see that in the house, please get it treated immediately if you have nowhere to go, because you can get it treated. I had a company come out, well, the company that tested it, they do some type of fumigation, but it's not a chemical. It's like with vinegar, like water and vinegar. But he said it's still so strong. He like sprays the whole house. It's like a gas, but it's like a mist. It did not damage my furniture or anything. He said I didn't need to cover it, but I did need to be gone for like 7 to 8 hours. So I had to be gone the whole day, and those need to be done on a regular basis. If you cannot leave the house, you need to get the treatment immediately. If you can, you need to get the fuck on. I wouldn't even suggest taking all your furniture, especially anything that's soft or like fabric or wood or where it's molded before, it'll absorb into it and you don't want to take it with you. It is hell. And that explains why I had a lot of those issues. It gets into your skin, and when I googled it, some of the symptoms, a lot of symptoms I've had, also come with the mold poisoning. So anyway, let me get back into the reading. I found out some more because y'all nosy ass went and found another piece of the Tasha K interview with the rapper. The female rapper that said she was dealing with Big U and that Nipsey lured her over to the store. I don't know if it was the Marathon store. Y'all, did she say that? I don't quite remember. And told her to come over there. And when she got there, Big U was there and said they locked the door and he beat her ass. And she did get into some of what I said I was seeing last night in the reading, but I wasn't quite sure. I also saw, oh, thank you, I love the hearts. Saw she's, when I said last night, she was a thief. Nipsey said he felt like she was a thief. Big U said she was a thief. She was stealing money. She played one end against the middle. She played tell one side one thing and another side another thing. She said she was a crip, a female crip, and she was working with a company. She was some kind of corporate company, and there was a man in power who gave her the job, who she was working with and was teaching her how to get large amounts of money, corporate accounts, and how to structure them and go get companies to donate to her organization. I don't know what organization it was, but it must have had something to do with Big U at the time, because she said that while she was working there, she had gotten some money. I don't remember how much she said she had. Big U knew about it, and it was supposed to be for them. And she said Big came into one of their meetings. I guess she must have told him where she worked or invited him there and said went off on her, or they had an argument in the meeting and said that could have jeopardized her job and her reputation because her boss saw Big U come in there like that. And then he left, and she said her and Big U started having problems, which I had also said I saw last night. And she was trying to pull away from him. So she was trying to take the money that she must have also was going to give him access to, and was transferring it to somewhere else or to another account. I don't know. I the clip they sent me wasn't very long. It was maybe a couple of minutes, but that's what I heard in there to confirm some of what I saw last night. She took the money, put another account, and was transferring it somewhere else. She said some kind of way he found out about it, and she was trying to ease away from him. And Nipsey asked her, she said, Nipsey asked her, sis, where you at? Why don't you come by? And I forgot, she said Nipsey and another guy was there. And when she got in there, she heard click, heard the door lock. Big U came out and started fussing at her, started verbally attacking her, then started to physically assault her. And she said when she looked at Nipsey and the other guy, Nipsey and him looked down. They would not look at her. Just the only little bit. So it must be a longer interview somewhere. I just don't know where it is, but I'm sure when it comes out, y'all will send it to me, because she's still talking as if she did nothing and she's innocent. But what I'm still wondering is the money, while she was a Crip and she was working at this place and making money and put it in a account, she said what Big Unum would have access to it. Then she pulls it out and tries to transfer it somewhere else. That would still be considered a violation because she was with them. Even if she was working a job, she owed dues and had obligations and responsibilities to them. If you're inside those organizations, you have to pay dues as well as put in work. And clearly she was very close to Big U, and he knew, and Nipsey knew, and I don't know who else knew what she was over there doing. And even said Big U was in one of her meetings. I just wish, I don't know if she's going to get into more details. Maybe she would, or somebody can explain more about this, because I do know a little bit about that. If you're making any type of money, that's like even if you're in the mafia and you're in a particular family, they find out you're making money on the side and you're not paying your dues every month, you're not giving back to the family, it's going to be a problem. And she didn't say he did this to her all the time. She just talked about this one particular time. Or I don't know if this time was more devastating to her than any other times. And I do keep seeing it come up. She was pregnant. I see that is true. Um, but she also felt restricted and confined by Big U and tried to take her money and hold on to the money and didn't want to give him none. And she felt like she didn't have any money. Like dealing with him, she was at a loss. I wasn't able to come up or get where she needed to go. So she decided she was going to find a way to get her own money and take it, transfer it somewhere else, and have it to herself and share it with another man, because it keeps showing she has another lover. Either she has a young lover right now, or she had a young lover back then, or she had a lover back then and she has one now. This is not an old man, an older man, because I think Big U is much older than her. But then it showed the tower came up. There was like a big explosion, but she was thrown out, thrown down, like by herself. Uh, no, there was someone else, and there was also a man involved in this, but she's not talking about that. There was some other guy. So I wonder, was he also a Crip? Somebody else was involved in her trying to do this move, or maybe trying to tell her how to do this move, and she ended up getting caught up. So maybe they didn't get caught too, or maybe they didn't get caught right then, because these guys, Nipsey and all them, and you dealing with organizations like that, they got eyes and ears everywhere, and you just can't, especially a woman, You can't call yourself playing on them and think they're not going to find out about this. But to her, it's like she felt like she came up by getting away from Big U and getting this money. It's like, I can do this. I can do better on my own. I can do better by myself. And she got these engagements behind his back and these new promising business deals. And she wanted to go on by herself and have her money to herself. I don't think it's that easy to be with an organization, because a gang is a structured organization, and you're with them and you know you're obligated to them, and if you didn't speak to them to get out and they didn't willing to get you out without any consequences, any paying any dues, don't think you're just going to walk away and there not be any consequences. And that's what she wanted, or that's what she thought should have happened. But she knows that that wasn't going to happen, and she didn't see that happen with anybody else that broke the rules. And it looks like he clearly was hurt, and Big U was extremely upset, and he felt like she disrespected him and tried to take advantage of and play on him and trick him, and then walk away with all this money, and you take it from me and you try to divert it to another account. That's I love you too, Phil Ether, thank you. It's like, that's what this was about. This is how they saw it. This is how they felt. And she knew it, and it like she was being sneaky about it. I'm surprised when I heard her say that. I'm surprised she admitted it, because that's what I said last night. I knew this was about, they said she was a thief. And if she said she was a thief, she was stealing money, and she thought she was slick. And he didn't feel bad about helping to set her up. They already knew what she did. And she thought she was just going to transfer and walk away. They weren't going to let her do that. Big U was furious with her. He's like, I done this for you, I done that for you, I helped you, and you're going to do this to me? Knowing that she wanted out. And he's like, bitch, you don't get out like that. You don't do me like that and think you're going to walk away and say, you motherfucking played on me. This is kind of the energy that I'm getting. Thank you, Peekaboo. Blessings to you, too. I know, I'm happy I'm okay, too, Phil Ether. So it's, but I'm still wondering about the record thing. And the record deal. Who got her the deal? And was she still dealing with the Crips when she got this deal, or did Big U let her go after the ass whooping? That's what I'm wondering. What did she do with the money? Did she get to keep it, or did she have to give them their cut, which would have been fair, even though? And I'm only saying that because of the organization she was in and the earth. She knows how the game go. She wasn't a civilian. She agreed to these terms before she got in there. But it looked like she kind of did better, or with this guy she's dealing with now, or whoever she's dealing with when in this deal, this new lover, a younger lover. I just don't know how long it's going to last. And I'm wondering if y'all could tell me what record label is she with. She said she was with Suge for a while. I don't think Suge still has a label for anybody to handle. If y'all could tell me what record label she's with. When did she get this deal? I don't know if she's pregnant now, or do you know if she has any children? Because this is still coming up. Either it's still bothering her and she hadn't gotten over that pregnancy, or she's been pregnant since that happened. If y'all could tell me, was it SKG, the rapper SKG? Has she had any children? Did she have any children? Or if it's still about her pregnancy, where she lost the baby when Big U was beating her up. Okay. It also shows about someone being murdered. Ugh. And let me tell you something else that was kind of creepy to me. When she said she got in the store and all of a sudden there was a click, they locked the door, locked her in, blocked her in, and then Big U attacked her. Do you know that's what the same thing I said that Nipsey said Big U did to him? They lured him to the store, acted like it was an emergency or something was going on. He's hanging out over there. Told him He needed to show up to a meeting to get DP. Like, and there was also an issue Big U had about the John Legend and the DJ Khaled hire video, and felt like he should tax Nipsey. See, Big U tried to act like they were cool, and Big U, Nipsey acted like he was cool with him right when they murdered him, but he wasn't. He had to play that game and kind of try to ease out of that, but they weren't going. Big U wasn't going to let him go. He was too big of a fish now, and too big of a money maker to him. So he kept taxing him, going higher and higher on him, and wouldn't let him go. Nipsey was trying to completely go clean and go in a different direction, and kept taxing him and kept going up higher and higher on Nipsey, just extorting him. Really got to a point of extortion, and so they wanted to see him. Said like, we want to talk about, what you owe me, and you know you got to pay taxes for that video, and or he had to be DP, like punished. So when they tell you that, you got to come in. And he gets there, they lock him in, act like they were going to talk to him. Some of the people, some of the Crips that don't like Nipsey to this day don't like him. And what people don't know publicly, there have been a lot of people killed because of Nipsey. And some of those Crips that love Nipsey or got him tatted on them have been arrested by LAPD and had a hard time out there since 2019 because they ride for Nipsey. Just like Kev Gill said last night when he popped into the chat, and I was asking him to please let me know how I can get a copy of those videos, where he did a brilliant job breaking that shit down and had computer specialists along with him knowing about computers and footage, and saying that that was doctored footage to make it look like Nipsey was here, Nipsey was there, Nipsey got shot, there was a double in it. I mean, brilliant fucking work. I did not know that when LAPD arrested him, took his computer, asked him about Nipsey, and would not get that man his goddamn footage back. Because you might be able to see a few videos of it. You need to watch him. Kev Gills or Kev Rowe, amazing work. And he's also from LA. Nipsey was saying to me, they got him in there. Big U told them to do this. Wouldn't let him out. Instead of talking to him and maybe, him having to take a little few punches here or there, take a punishment, they killed Nipsey over there at that goddamn stove. And they ambushed him, and he didn't know. But Tanisha said she told him not to go. And I think, I don't know if she said it directly or somebody said she told him not to go. And she said she called him. And she was bragging that she talked to him 30 minutes before he died, and while he's on his way over there. I don't know what she was saying, but I think Nipsey might have known. So I think he knew from what he was telling me. But Nipsey's not the type of person. You see how stubborn he is? Like I told y'all yesterday, I wondered why the Lions would come in here with Nipsey and why the Black Panthers would come in here. But what I realized, I think in America, there's an American animal. It's like that big cat that's called the Black Panther. It might be here or in Africa, but it's also a puma. Puma, a puma cat. And some of them might be all black, and it might not be classified as just a Black Panther. It's a puma, and it's got this beautiful, and they got the black tail curled up on the end. Absolutely gorgeous, jet black, beautiful cats. And I said, why are they with him? But then I realized he dealt with Johnny Cochran. He dealt with the Nation of Islam. He dealt with Malcolm X. And a lot of them were part of the Panther movement, Black Panther movement. And also, when I started watching him more, and I watched Rex in the Middle. And I looked at him talking, and his brother was talking. And he's like, yeah, I'm finna talk shit right now. We're finna get on the jet. And what is on the jet? A puma is painted on the jet. And he had the Puma clothesline and the Puma shoe line. And then he's a Leo, which would represent the lion and the Lion of Judah. So this is when I learned something about him. And what I was saying earlier about gratitude. and focusing on what you want and raising your frequency to gratefulness and raising your frequency to the frequency of what you want and not being focused on and angry about and wallowing in pity and what you don't want and what didn't happen and who did this and who did that and who said they were going to do it and who didn't do all this bullshit. When Nipsey clearly focused on his vision and he studied all of these people and he studied Steve Jobs and he made history as the first person in the United States that had a smart store. I think that was cashless and might have been the first one to have a smart store worldwide. He studied all these successful people. He studied the law of attraction. He studied herbs. He loved Dr. Shaby. Of course, he understand. He stood streets. He was a master at cryptocurrency and investments and stock. Just brilliant mind. He always read and he always studied. Okay. When you get so deep in something or a object or a house or whatever it is you want to manifest, I could tell that he had tapped deeply into the consciousness of everybody he studied and read about that meant something to him. Because a lot of these people, or several of these people, had physically died before he was born. And I think he probably was born after before Steve Jobs died, but before he was born, Einstein and Nikola Tesla had already physically died, but were in the ethers and still here because people practiced their work, people stole their patents, especially Nikola Tesla. He was considered a threat. They didn't honor him like they did Benjamin Franklin and Albert Einstein, a lot of the other scientists. They stole from Nikola Tesla, and I think he was a pauper because he didn't want to play the game. So some of these people were physically dead when Nipsey was born, what, in the 80s? Was it 85? And, but I think Steve Jobs might have still been alive after Nipsey was born, but then died, physically died. These people are still in the ethers and still pulled on, and a lot of their inventions are still used, and their names are spoken, they're still connected to him. So he clearly really meant what he was saying and got deeply attached to these people. Why? Because they came in here. After he came to me, they came in here. And the in one of the first few readings when I mentioned them, he wanted at first he came the day he got assassinated and he said, I want you to send a message to my brother. And I didn't know who his brother was, and I didn't know the brother's name. And I was saying in those readings, I think it might be the first or the second reading, and they were so long and so detailed because that's how he is. And I'm trying to figure out what he likes. I said, "Do you want a candle?" And now I know why. I said, I only have red. Would you like red? No. He said, I don't want a red candle. And now I know, okay, that's blood. He likes blue. I mean, I can burn some red candles now because they're there for love, but the blue, he likes the blue. And he was like, no. And I said, well, I'll go get you one. No, I need to talk. I said, you don't want me to go get you one? I get everybody one that comes here to make them happy, or a food or a drink. He's like, no, don't go to the store. I want to talk. I said, do you want some water? No. Like, you want anything else? No. I'm like, God damn, I'm just trying to figure out. I'm trying to get to know you. I said, so, I said, okay, let me sit. So I sat, um, and I said, okay, so do you like angels? And he's looking like, huh? And I said, okay, Michael? He's like, mm-mm. And you said, what, this simplicity logged in from my son's page because I just don't have, oh, that's fine. Hey, Jupiter. I said, Michael? He said, no. Gabriel? No. Raphael? Uriah? No. I said, Samuel. Samuel. What? You like the angel? No, 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 no. No. Samuel. And then I had to get on the video and I said, y'all, he's asking me. He says he has a message. He said he wants to talk to his brother, but then he said this person's name Sam. Samaya. That's his brother, Black Sam. I said, oh wow. I said, so I'm not crazy. That's him. That's his brother. Yes, that's his brother. That was the first person. He had no problem. We had no problem getting to him, and I wrote that message. Then he says, I want to talk to my mom. I said, okay. I said, this is your mom, right? I said, that's my mom. I said, one time. And he said, but I want to see her. I said, okay. And so that's when I saw Einstein, Steve Jobs, and Nikola Tesla. They have this time travel portal. And one of them looks like a TV, like almost like an old fashioned TV, like from the 50s and the 60s, a really heavy, well built TVs with the big wood frame around it and the wood legs and a big, thick glass kind of convex type of screen. And Nikola Tesla, Einstein, they drew out the mathematical calculations of it, and it stretched from the other side that looks invisible to everybody else. You can't see, but you can see the whole outline. It kind of looked like an etch-a-sketch. If you all, I gotta buy me one of those. Those are really psychic, you all. Those are very etheric. It looked like that, where it's like gray, but then when you draw the outline of it, everything just looked like lines, like black lines or something. It was no color. And then you come to this side, you see all of the color, like all the color spectrums in the 3D. So they made a tunnel, and he walks through the time machine, and it's all this electricity is on. He peers in. He's like, oh, I can see. And it's like he pierced this curtain, like piercing a veil. He walks back through into California. So he's in the third dimension again. He goes to his grandma's house. He goes to his mother. He sees his mother. And I'm watching, because that's one reason why I was so worn out and sleep. I could get out of my body. And so he said, let me show you something. So I go walk up. I'm like, oh, wow. Oh yeah, I still got to show y'all that snake for y'all didn't see it. When I saw the snake, I'm like, whoa, this motherfucker's big. And he's like, yes, this is one of the guys that saw me get murdered. He was a part of it. He was there. He didn't shoot me, but he was there. And he also works for the police. That was one of my older readings when everybody was laughing at me about the albino python that I found. He's walking around and he's like, hi mom. I'm sure the mother's kind of psychic, I think, and intuitive. I think she knew he was around her. I'm not sure how much she knew at the time, but I think she knew. Because his energy was so strong. He's like, I get to see my mom because Einstein and Tesla are helping me with their technology. So I wrote it out, and I think it was like in 2019. It was for Mother's Day of 2019. That was a hard one to do because he had me go to some of his songs, and I'm telling you, one of his songs I cried because I knew what it felt like to have that type of mom and a relationship with your mom like that. It's called Closer Than Close, and he used some of the old school music, and I'm like, this guy's young, but he's old at the same time. He has a really old soul, and I love it too because he likes Miss Angela, not Angela. He likes Angela Winbush Angel, and he also used the angel in one of his older songs. But I think that song is Closer Than Close, or he used the old sample from Closer Than Close in that song, and he was rapping. And I think that was one of them. He was talking about how his mother threw him out in the street. And he said one like, Mama, why did you let him hit me so hard? And he was basically saying that he was abused and that he wasn't loved by his mother, and she let her boyfriend or somebody hit him or hurt him. I don't know if it was him and his brother and sister or just him. And he started gangbanging. His mom put him out. Um, he wanted me to tell her how he felt, and that was so hard to do because I'm like, I maybe I'm not hearing the right thing, or I don't want to offend anybody, but I did it. And then it came out, that these things did happen. It was a very dysfunctional and very painful young life he had. But he then became a beast, a superstar because of it. And his brother, of course, was his keeper, his protector, and one of his main teachers, and his father. Incredible. And I think some people are surprised that 4 years later, he's still loved, he's still missed, he's still respected, he's still hashtag, he's still talked about. People still want to hear about him. And they share his quotes and his pictures. And his brother is amazing at keeping him alive. It's like his brother felt like he lost a part of himself or lost a limb almost. That's how close they were and how close they still are. They're still very much together and speak to each other. And his brother really has not grieved, has not gotten over it. Neither has a father. He will never get over it. And we know his grandmother, Granny Hussle, could not take it. So she went over to be with him and to watch over him on the other side. That showed you what a deep relationship they had. That was like his mama. Even though she didn't give birth to him, that was her baby. She had him since he was little. He was still very close to her and with her when he was physically assassinated. So that's also a lesson I learned that I'm sharing with you. The way he clearly had these things, his clothesline, his shoe line, being on the jets, living that lifestyle, was actually, it had to be something that he lived, breathed, ate, slept every day because of the symbology. Not only the symbology of the Puma shoes and the Puma clothes and the Puma jet, actually tapping into the animal totem that represented that he's wearing it on his clothes. It is stamped in his ethers of his mind and stamped into his etheric anatomy to the point that when he comes in here, they are here. And that's why the fucking animal is always the same animals. It's the puma, it's the panther, and it's the lion. It's always those that came in. Don't you like it? I love Miss Angela, honey. Yeah, yeah, beautiful, amazing. And I saw how he honored the old school. And when I looked at that and they started telling me what that was and the symbols, and I saw the video, especially like I said, Rex in the middle. He's got the Puma clothes on, shoes. He's got the Puma jet. Is right there. I said, oh, that's the cat that's always in my goddamn house. And it's not one, it's a lot of them. Just like the day, I did not know it, maybe 2 or 3 years ago, when Nipsey wanted me to warn his brother about the Johnny Cochran firm and said that it did not really represent Johnny Cochran. It was using his name, and there were government agents in there. He needed to watch himself with that firm. It was a whole bunch of Black Panthers on my roof, and they were outside of my yard wailing. They were crying. And then I looked at the news, and the day they were crying, and Nipsey brought Johnny Cochran to my house to speak to his brother, because I think at one point his brother was represented by the Johnny Cochran firm after his death, physical death. The day the Panthers were on my roof and in the yard and around the tree crying, one of the original Black Panthers had been pronounced dead that day. That was like 2, 3 years ago. And I said, oh, so on the end, Johnny Cochran had come over here. Some of the other Panthers had come over here. Tupac, his mom, Afeni. They were here to mourn. This is what they do. People that don't know and can't see them, like a lot of us can see them, people that you think are dead and gone because their physical bodies is died, they will come when it's somebody that they love that is getting ready to die. They want to see them in the body and they want to help them out of the body. They will watch the embalming process or the cremation process. They will be at the funeral. They will watch the burial, and the person is now standing with them watching their physical body, and they come get them and they come pay their respects. I've seen them do it. And they will also come to warn someone. And so all of these powerful people, as well as John Singleton, have been hanging out with Nipsey. And they'll come back or he'll bring them to my house. I've had so many visitors because of him and my father. Just like when Michael Jackson came, and I love Michael Jackson, and he loved my father, and Joe Jackson loved my father. My father used to be at the Jackson Mansion, and Michael came, and Michael told me that my father said, if you want to get a good reading, go visit my daughter Alexis in Atlanta. So I'm here because your father, and I said, you know what? You don't have to say anymore because my father told you to tell me to do it. Let me get the paper and pencil. There's no question. I'm not going to defy my father. So you're in. If he said you're in, you're in. Plus, I love Michael. So I started to do it. And those are some of the readings, I think, what, from 2018, maybe? 2017, 2018, when Michael told me to do the reading on his mother, Catherine Jackson, and that Catherine could not walk and she had been abused by somebody in the family. One of the Jackson children, I don't know if it was one of his, but he was kind of like bisexual or gay or act like it and drove his hair long and had different colors in it, a wig or something, man. I mean, goddamn. I ain't want to say that, but I did. I said what the man told me to say. And I noticed that since I did that reading, you don't really see Michael Jackson's mother in public. They don't have her in public. I always wonder, how is she doing? Is she all right? Because he said at the time I did the reading, I think 2018, she wasn't able to stand and take care of herself. And nobody was releasing much information on her. And he was worried. He said, I'm very worried about my mother. But he wasn't worried about the father. As a matter of fact, yes, when I did the reading on Joe Jackson, he came to escort his father to the other side because he said his father was the reason why a lot of fucked up satanic rituals were done on him. And he wanted to see his father go to hell, literally, go to the other side to be punished for what the father had done. And when I did the reading and said that he was dying, it was people that knew Joe Jackson. One guy said he knew security, who was very close to Joe Jackson, and I better stop saying that I was lying. Um, and I didn't know if I was lying or not. I didn't know him or anybody that was in his family. So I got very nervous because he said, you don't know what you're talking about. And then I remember somebody in the chat said, Alexis, you better stand on that shit. If you said the spirits told you that, I don't give a fuck what he's saying. Stand on that shit. You better not take that shit back. So I didn't take it back because Michael kept saying it. I said it was something wrong with his digestive system, which I think it ended up being what, pancreatic cancer, which is a part of the digestive system. And a lot of people don't survive pancreatic cancer. And I saw that he was bleeding in his digestive system. It was like rotting from the inside out. And then this man still said, I was lying. And I did another video. And then a few days later, the news started reporting Joe Jackson was in hospice and he was dying from cancer. I took the link from that news. It was like one or two news articles, and I said, this is what they're saying. To the man who said I was lying, that he's friends with Joe, he's like, look, I just talked to Joe's bodyguard this morning. Joe is doing fine. And I said, but I don't care what that outlet is saying. I don't care what you said. Okay, then as the days went on, more news outlets started saying the same shit about Joe Jackson. Then it got to bigger, like major news outlets. He was dying. That man never spoke to me again. The one that said I was lying and that I know him personally and I know that's not true. I said, but it is. I saw it in the spirit. You don't know what you're talking about. I know them. I don't care what you say you saw the spirit. And we see what happened. During the same time I did those readings, after I did it, not before I did it, after I did it, Joe Jackson died. I mean, because Michael told me my father said to do the reading, and I did it. So, and other people have come to visit. Thank you, Lori. That said my dad sent them. It's like people, celebrities in the underworld. They don't trust everyone. Some of them don't trust everyone. They want to know that if it's something I once said, some of them are like that. Some people don't want their stuff revealed. But I guess the ones that come to me, I want to know that it's somebody that's going to say this motherfucker shit just the way I give it to them, the way I tell they motherfucker ass to say that shit. So they know that's me, goddammit. I mean, hey, I ain't got nothing to lose. I don't have no friends. I don't have nobody love me, give a fuck about me. People have always said I was crazy. I couldn't say I know what the fuck I was talking about. So I really don't give a fuck. Somebody come in here and I see they've been murdered and they were a good person. They've been hurt like Michael Jackson, like my father, like Nipsey, like Tupac, like Biggie. People like that come in here and they've been fucked over and they've been done wrong. Look, tell them this motherfucker right over here did that shit. And this day at this time, they set it up like, just like Nipsey said, that Big U, the same way Big U told him to call that girl, Big U told Nipsey he had to come over there. They had a Crip meeting, and some of them Crips knew that they were going to kill Nipsey at that meeting. Some of the ones that loved him, that knew, said, I'm not going to be at the meeting because I don't want to see that. Some of them that were jealous of Nipsey and didn't like him stayed because they wanted to see it and they participated in the shit. That's what I have always said, and I'm not going to take it back. And to this day, nobody has proved me wrong. There were Crips involved in killing him. Nipsey was a made man, just as if he would have been in the Italian mob. When somebody is a made man and get that level, any nobody or a low ranking crip or nobody else just can't walk up and shoot this man. There has to be a green light by the Godfather or the higher ups that are in control that says, yes, I'm authorizing a hit on Nipsey Hussle. I want him to be here. I want him to be there at this particular day, this particular time. I'm authorizing it and I'm going to watch it. That's what he told me. And Cowboy was the goddamn MC of the shit. He was a master of ceremonies. He knew the shit was going down. They had been plotting that shit for months. Might have been a year or two. They had been plotting this shit. Cowboy was dead up in it. He's a dirty crackhead looking heroin smoking motherfucker. And he is going to pay for what the fuck he did. I don't care what y'all say. I don't care what he say. I've said it from the beginning. I've done the readings on it. And until I see something different, I'm saying it now. And I'm going to keep saying it. Cowboy helped with Big U set that goddamn boy up like that. Set that man up like that. And he knowed it was going to happen, goddamn it. And he sat right there and helped them kill that man. I told y'all months ago, I said Jay Stone and all them niggas and all money in, that they love him and trying to ride off his success right now. They undercover in criminal activities. And sell drugs and do drug. And Jay Stone off and on drug. Got babies everywhere. A liar, mental emotional unstable, and sold his own motherfucking friend out. Because he know they were going to kill Nipsey. And he sat right there. He let that shit happen because he went through too scary and scared of spending his life in prison. And he wasn't going to go over Big U. And he didn't warn Nipsey either. Now I love him. That's my dog. I don't care if y'all did grow up together. You not his friend. You jealous of him. You always have been jealous of him and wanted whatever he give y'all. And the more he give you, the more you take and the more you goddamn want. I mean, I said what I said. And I'm not taking it back. And if you look, a couple of weeks ago, Jay Stone, they arrested him at the airport trying to leave town because he had been stealing out of some store. Why is you doing that when you touring and you singing and you doing all these videos and shit, but you still doing that low rent ghetto shit? Still cause, you know what? Y'all look at these people and y'all admire these people because y'all listen to what's coming out their mouth, or they growed up with Nipsey and you look at the pictures they took with him and the videos that they was on with him and shit. And I told you some of them niggas and all money and really ain't Nipsey friend, jealous of him and want to be him. Really started resenting him real bad. Even jealousy to the point that they hated him and wanted to see something happen to him. But because they said they love him and how we growed up, and y'all believe that bullshit. I don't, because I could see right through the shit. And I know some of them from All Money In know, because they Crips too. They know they were going to kill that boy. And neither one, you think they got up and jumped in it, and now Jay Stone got his charger dropped and shit. I mean, and you speaking, you was a punk. A lot of these motherfuckers, pussy ass motherfuckers. I mean, I don't know. I guess that's a tough position to be in. You got a friend and y'all in business together, y'all musicians together, your friend is a star, and y'all in the same gang together, and you know that it's not a I or you, it's a we. So we can all be laughing and talking together. And if Big U tell you, hey, we're gonna shoot Nipsey tomorrow, you know it ain't about Nipsey, even though he one of the biggest Crips that have made us famous and brought attention to us. You know that it ain't about your friendship with him, and it ain't about Nip. It's about the whole organization. It's about what the fuck I said. So you gonna stand back and let them shoot Nip, or is you gonna, hey, go against the code and risk your own life and stand to protect your motherfucking friend? Uh, I would, or find a way to get out of there and try to expose that shit. And but you know what all them did? They just blended in, and now they all up on his brother and shit, and still got their group together and shit, like they so damn loyal. I can see through it. I ain't gonna name no name, man. I mean, I just gave you one name, goddamn it, and I've always said the shit, but it's a couple of other ones that in there that I see. Ah, anyway, couldn't or wouldn't. You see what I'm saying? It's some things that you do that might risk your life, that are about righteousness and honor and integrity. And Big U was jealous of Nipsey too. And now that Whack 100 Tell is still part of trying to get percentages of Victory Lap. I heard him in an interview when this happened. He was talking about like he responsible for Victory Lap, and he deserved a percentage of the profits of Victory Lap, or the ownership, and now he trying to sell the tape with Tanisha and Nipsey and letting other men fuck her. And like, why would you do that to someone that's supposed to be one of your members that grew up under you, and one of your bigger and most important members? Why would you do that? And this man's physically murdered. I mean, because you set it up. So you don't give a fuck. You still all about the dollar. I mean, these people are disgusting when you see the way these people act. And a lot of y'all are kill, steal, suck a dick, get fucked in the ass just to get inside of that industry with these snake ass, devilish ass motherfuckers. He done told me what he told me about a lot of these people. I would never be in a room with them by myself. I wouldn't even eat or drink nothing out of a glass in a room with them. And we at a feast or a party, because I know how they get down. They'll find a way to get that shit around to you, and you drinking that drink, and they way over in the other aisle up on the second or third floor, and your ass get fucked up with that drink, and you don't even know they got somebody get around to your ass. If they want to get to you, they will get to you. But you make it easier when you admire them and you don't see them as human, and you put yourself around them thinking that these are good people and that they're rich because they're good people. When somebody's rich, it doesn't mean they're good or bad. It's just that they did whatever they had to do depending on the way they came up. And in that industry, most of the time, you do debaucherous shit, and you sacrifice somebody, or you rape somebody, or you eat a child, their actual flesh, or you sacrifice another human being, and they become at the human buffet table. You feast on them one way or the other. What you said, Victoria, I noticed that too. Queen Drip, Nipsey and Dolph was too powerful. Yep, two Leos, and had that Leo in them. And these rappers always stealing. Nipsey and Dolph, energy and style, stealing. Yes, trying to take it from them, but those two are just alike. And Dolph had made, I think, a necklace with Nipsey on the necklace, and said that him and Nipsey was getting ready to go on tour together. They both were so much alike. And actually, Nipsey was in here with him. I think he brought Young Dolph over here when I did Young Dolph's reading. It was quite incredible and amazing. And there have been a lot of people that have been murdered behind doing that to Young Dolph, and a lot of secrets have come out about the people that were involved. And I always told y'all I felt that boy with that Tweety bird head that kind of looked like Jay-Z. He was in it with that funny shape ass head. Him and his brother, I think, was arrested and accused for helping to kill Young Dolph. What the name? Y'all know who I'm talking about. He is under Jay-Z and he's a producer, and he didn't like Young Dolph. They got into it. What the name? I see it face. Y'all know who I'm talking about with that Tweety bird head, with that big ass forehead. He a producer and got them artists up under him. Him and that other boy with that fat booty, black youngster or something, a black youngster, a youngster gangster. Yeah, yo got it. Yo got it. I remember I told y'all go back listen to my first reading. I seen him in it. And I seen Jay-Z face. And then I seen that big booty boy, that black youngster. I know he liked it men's. And them two came up in the shit, remember? As suspect, and yo got it brother. They got him, he was involved in shooting Young Dog. Because that's what Young Job had told me. That shit came out just like I had said, man. And Young Dolph was accused. Yo Gotti was accused of being involved in it with black youngster. You could hear me saying it in my said Dolph called him Ho Gotti. Yeah. Two incredible men. Independent thinkers, powerful. They're both slim men, but very big. Big souls, big visions, and had the ability to manifest millions and make things happen. And they were very jealous of that and couldn't take that. Yes, Nipsey brought him in here, and he's very brilliant and intelligent, just like Nipsey. I see why they get along, and they're both two Leos. Anyway, let's see. Did they say anything else about her, the girl SKG that said Nipsey set her up for Big U to beat her ass? She was looking for money, fame, and fortune and opportunities. It's showing her gang activity again, and the problems within the gang. And she felt like it was Big U that was the problem. She was looking for her own money, her own independence, and own opportunities. And there were younger men. There were other men she was talking to that told her they could help her get away from him and get out of that situation and have a better life and better opportunities. I guess Big U doesn't take well to that. People want to end their relationship with him and walk away, even females. She's lucky he didn't murder her. Guess because one time he attacked Nipsey and Black Sam had to jump in it, and they said that's when Black Sam shot his gun in the air for him trying to jump Nipsey. Clearly Nipsey knew both sides of Big U, but at the same time, Big Yusufa. We can't lodge nobody but himself, but what can Nipsey do because he was inside of that gang? That was his superior. He was kind of between a rock and a hard place. And they'd rather kill Nipsey and some of the others, blood in, blood out, before they let him walk away. It was too important, but they were going to do it anyway. And they only wanted to see, they saw him as a cash cow. And he knew Nipsey was full of a lot of light and could manifest things without him. And Big U didn't want that to happen because he was a star by himself. I made you. I got you started. I put you on. And I can take this. You ain't going to go out nowhere without me and accomplish these things and think you don't need me. Yes, it's like we actually want to destroy someone if he can't possess them and control. And he was very jealous of Nipsey. A lot of them were. And you see how that place fell. That whole area fell down economically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, socially, when he was physically murdered over there. But his spirit is still over there, and he's still crying out. It's so sad, crying out for justice, because Eric Holder is not the one behind this. This thing is so much bigger. Eric Holder is a patsy, a fall guy, an idiot. And the ones that did it, the men and women involved in it, are the ones that we see out in the front talking about they love him so goddamn much. They love him so much. I used to love him my life. Oh, Jesus. You know what? Let me get up from here because I gotta go. Finish working to get myself together. Thank you, Kim, for putting my Queen Drip King nip in here. I gotta go rest. And ouch, pulled on my thing. I love you all. I'm thinking of you. You see, I wasn't supposed to be on here. I need to be resting. But I wanted to come say hello to you, and I wanted to follow up on what I thought I was seeing last night. And when the people sent me the video, it confirmed the reading I saw last night. I appreciate it and thank you. I just don't know where the record deal came in or when it came in or who was instrumental in that or who she has a deal with. So if y'all find out, let me know, please. Yeah, and any frequency with money. I guess my girl is busy today, so she couldn't come and facilitate. Through the storm and through my rainbow. Oh, mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm. I'm just looking through the comments to see what I missed because I can't always look at them and talk. I have to keep my train of thought. Oh, you said y'all hearing people? Nipsey physical death calls they split between some of the crypt. Yes, it did. Like it sounds like their hearts were involved in that split. They chose some deeper. Yep, it was a big split behind it. As you say, some believe Nip was a spiritual son of Shango. Shango's color are red and white. Sometimes Nip was shown. Nip would wear all kind of colors. He said he didn't have to worry about it. I saw him on the Breakfast Club. He said he can wear any color he wanted to, and he looked good in red too. Thank you, Child Perez. I love you too. You said, Laura, you said, I damn sure believe you. These people were jealous and envious of neighborhood. Yep, they could understand his evolution. But yeah, they didn't want to do what he did to get there, but wanted to be him and was jealous of him and wanted to destroy him. But can't nobody's been able to take his place. Male or female. He changed his life and wanted better for his community. Yeah, and that is the fear of the black messiah. It was niggas also involved in the COINTEL Pro Edgar Hoover philosophy of killing a black messiah, fear of the rise of a black messiah. A lot of niggas was jealous of him. You said George, gorgeous Nubian Victoria. I noticed that too. Queen Drip, Nipsey, and Dolph was too powerful. Yeah. Yeah, and he also Nipsey wore that Malcolm X chain, and he probably didn't know it, but he realized after he physically left the body, Malcolm X heard him, saw him, felt his heart and sincerity, and was with him. And Malcolm X came right in here when Nipsey went to the other side because I remember it was a couple of readings that I did for them. And there was an Egyptian ceremony. I think it was called the opening of the mouth or something that Malcolm X told me that needed to be done for Nipsey. And I think that was the first year. There were different ceremonies and rituals that the gods of the underworld, as well as people that were powerful in the physical and became more powerful in God and goddesses on the other side, were participating in the healing of Nipsey and the resurrection of the God self, actually putting him back together. It was quite beautiful. His passing was so devastating on so many levels and so unnecessary. But sometimes we pick these things. What you said, Laura Brown, Queen Drip, does Nip speak out on who got his intellectual property? Well, a lot of it he owns, and his brother is over it, over his estate, and controls his trademarks and a lot of his rights he owns. All of them were not taken from him. But maybe he shares them with some people, or shares maybe co-writing some things. I don't know all of the things, but he didn't lose all of his rights to his intellectual property and his music. It's in the T's where he can communicate with his fans. What's that mean? In the T's where he could communicate with his fans. Somebody got it. I don't know what that is. You said in the T's where he could communicate with his fans. I don't know what that means. Should the baby mama being put on blast now by Jag, right? But it's all things you have said. Wait a minute, Indigo. What is Jaguar Wright saying about which baby mama? Because I didn't hear it yet. Child, tell me, Indigo, what the hell I done missed now? Indigo Park said the baby mama being put on blast now by Jag, right? But it's all the things that you have said years ago. Oh, when people want to beat my ass about saying it? Which one, Indigo? The Tanisha or the other baby mama, the actress? Oh, Pump Christina, what? You heard it too? Wait a minute. Jag is confirming what I said Nip told me. What, Indigo? Why y'all just now telling me? Oh, but I can feel the presence of you near. Child. Angels watching over me. Child. Now I ain't heard that shit. Angels. Thank you, angels. Ooh, all the hell I done caught. And liars and ain't shit and all that shit. And you just a lying, jealous old bitch and mad because you couldn't get none of Nip dick and all. What? Now it's coming out? What? I was it new to you because I've been saying the shit that Nipsey said it since 2019. Night and Day TV had her on. Ooh, but y'all didn't tell me she said something about her. Oh, shh. They said she said Lauren London was a background singer and was a contestant on American Idol. I don't know. Is that true? I didn't see it. I didn't know she was a background singer. I ain't never heard her singing nothing. His technology was when you buy a T-shirt, you can scan it. That the Idris, I forgot. I know his name is Idris Sandu. He created the technology for Nipsey. I don't know who owns it. I know he was working with Jay-Z as well, and he's working with other companies. Plus, she was doing with Puffy and her friends stuff she was doing. I tried to tell y'all she was fucking Puffy and Cassie and some other niggas in there to get deals and money because she never had no blockbuster, multi-million-dollar Hollywood movie, so she had to be getting money from them men. That's what Nipsey told me. Yeah, well, Jaguar the only one mentioned Black Mafia family with Nipsey because remember the leader of Black Mafia family said he was friends with Diddy. I don't think Jaguar lying because now Jaguar's not the only one saying it. And with this stuff coming out about Diddy and Cassie, Lauren came up right in it. Like Diddy beat up Lauren's sister and Lauren didn't say or do nothing, stayed with him and they paid Lauren off. Diddy and Sony paid Lauren's sister off and the sister Diddy blackballed Lauren's sister after that. And I said, why would she let somebody do that to her sister? I don't care if it was her play sister. Why would you let him do that to a woman and that said Diddy trusted her to be around Cassie when he would beat her ass? So Lauren had to be up in it and with it to watch him beat her ass and sit up there and not say nothing and still be with him. Child, thank y'all for oh, I feel vindicated finally. Finally, I know a lot of y'all didn't believe me. get mad at me, want to argue, honey, and I still stuck by it because I believed it was him, and I kept hearing it all these years. He never changed it. I never believed he changed it. Said she was a singer. I ain't seen no footage anyway. And don't you think the way Nipsey is and put singers and talent on, she never sung on none of his album. She just said on Victory Lap, she said two words, Victory Lap, and that was synthesized and got paid millions for that. First of all, Jag ain't the only one said it. Nipsey's friends tried to tell him she was a pass around. You can't turn a hoe into a housewife. At first, he didn't want to believe him, but he found out later. I know you indigo. A few people believe me, but a lot of people did not and wanted to kill me. And Lauren's friends actually came and said, Lauren said, you better stop it before we do some black magic and kill you. And they tried to, goddamn it. They motherfucking tried to do it. I killed to them. But Drip don't miss. And Drip will never be destroyed with black magic, voodoo, or any of that shit. Drip still exists, goddamn it. I ain't leaving till my ancestors take me the fuck up out of here. I was determined not to leave, and I was determined not to be intimidated by no threats. Or because you said a celebrity told you to tell me they killing me, and said her and Queen of Four and Lauren London was getting together to kill me. That what Isis Wisdom told me. If I didn't keep her name out my mouth, sis. And she trying to act like she my friend, but gladly let me know, bitch, when it comes to them, you ain't shit to me. Me, Lauren, and Queen of Fool will triple team your ass and kill your ass with black magic, bitch. If you say one more time, Lauren helped to set nipple up and she a hoe. I said, but she is. No, yes, she is. Look, y'all gonna have to do what y'all got to do to me, goddammit. Because if you kill me and wipe me off the planet, you good, bitch. With your man looking ass. You good, Isis Wisdom. But I said what the fuck I said. And in my heart and in my soul and in the root of my pussy, I believe the nigga came in here and said the goddamn shit. It was too detailed. My messages was too specific. What the nigga say? I said, until you prove me, Ross, you got any proof? Well, now, but she said I don't give a fuck. As long as I believe this nigga coming in here saying what the fuck I know, I hear him saying that bitch did that shit. I stand by what the fuck I said. And if y'all got the power to go over God that and my ancestors that brought me here to take me out of here, then that's what the will is. It is what the fuck it is then. I guess I better get ready to go then because I ain't backing up, walking back, talking down. It read a good goddamn thing I said about the baby mama, goddamn it. Nah. And it took 4 years, but look at it. Now everybody goddamn saying the goddamn it shit. By what Drip said, goddamn it. Whew. I wonder what took them so goddamn long. Rays of love, ring hands around you, so I will not fear. Child, thank you, Lord, honey. Oh, but I can feel the presence of you near. Nothing but an angel. Thank you, Lord, honey. Yes, finally. Finally, honey. Yes, I might have been through hell and almost died. Goddamn it, them bitches really tried to do that shit, but I'm still here because of my angels watching over me, honey. And my ancestors, goddamn it, and y'all hitting that cash up, making it clap, goddamn it, so I could still continue to carry on, honey. What you said, the music and acting world is so small. Reflection, you better say it. I stood on it, goddamn it. I said that was my spirit, that was my spirit, nigga, goddamn it. He said that shit, and I believed he was here saying, and I ain't care how many people laugh. Happy New Year to y'all. You say, I just love your energy. I come across you last night. Thank you, Robbie McNeil. Yes, claim a good year. Don't let nobody negative come in your life. When I told y'all last night, when you feel that negative vibe, trust it. Even if you don't trust yourself, watch it now. Some of your gut tell you a bitch ain't shit, a nigga ain't shit. Don't let them in now. We not taking no prisoners this new year, goddamn it. We making 2024 our bitch, goddamn it. We making the whole universe bend to our will to get what the fuck we want. Child, I love that. Say, child, y'all making me sing, goddamn it. Okay. Yes, it shine on the unit this year. Okay. Angels watching over me. Mm. Child, let me go on and get me a little rest. I gotta get some water. Gotta get myself together. I love y'all. That I thank y'all for loving me and supporting me. Thank you, Coco. I love y'all. Talk to you soon.